Would you trust a scammer who lost everything, due to their narcissistic ways, due to their reprobation? Would you trust a scammer like that? No, you wouldn't trust a scammer anyway. But a reprobate who forfeited everything for short-term relief, and now he feels sorry for himself, and now he wants to drain you by pulling sympathy out of you. He wants to feed off of your sympathy at your expense. Would you get involved with such a scammer? No, you wouldn't. But what if I told you that the leaders of this world, they worship such scammers? Well, you see them here. The scammers that the leaders of the world worship. They weren't always like this. They used to be heavenly princes. Christ is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So they are lords and kings in the heavens. But they only rule on behalf of Christ. Christ is their master. And those kings, they live in mansions, palaces, sacred gardens, which are far more beautiful than any rainforest you can find on the earth. They are talented. They run institutions over there. Yes, there's literature, there's technology, there is music, there are visuals. You have all of that in the heavens. So the heavenly princes are loyal Christ followers who lead life in the heavens. But some of those heavenly princes forfeited their trust in their king. And they, as I mentioned before the time of Noah, they came to the earth, creeping after the women. Why? They were envious and jealous about male sexuality. Because males in the heavens, because heavens are only populated by males, heavenly men have no sexuality. Those are males without sexuality. Human males are sexual beings. So a human male is a sex creature. While heavenly men are spirit men. They are spirit beings, just like the human being is a spirit being, but the human being is a spirit being with a soul inhabiting a body. So the human being is multidimensional. Males in the heavens are interdimensional, without sexuality. And sexuality is the reflection of God's power in the male, because the male is the reflection of the Most High himself. So human sexuality is male energy in action, and it's quite powerful. And some of those heavenly princes that forfeited Christ, they craved male sexuality. With the aid, that means the assistance of male sellouts, they kidnapped men, killed them, drank their blood, consumed their human energy, and those heavenly princes who forfeited heaven, they now transitioned into an organic state in which they committed fornication on earthly women and also with animals, reptiles, horses, some goats, sea creatures. So they forfeited everything. They were banned from the heavens eventually by Christ, because the Most High didn't want that filth in the heavens. What happened? All the diseases they contracted in that organic state haunted them when they shifted back to their interdimensional state. And this is how they turn out. Not all of them, some still have an appearance that's more or less how they used to be. But this is what the crimes did to them. Check that out, folks. Are these entities you trust? Should you trust them? Come on now. But the pagan rulers of this world will rather put up with these creeps than to obey Christ. And the world's population, they put up with all of this. These are the gods of the pagans, folks. Check it out. These are their gods. These are their heroes. And they are led by Apollo, who is a Nephilim founded by Satan himself. Is an entity called Lamb that Aleister Crowley channeled, a former heavenly prince used to belong to Christ. I'm telling you, stop following those losers. I mean it, stop it. Many who watch this video will ignore what I'm saying, but for those who have an ear to hear and eyes to see, obey Christ. Because these entities, the former heavenly princes, it's not only heavenly princes that fell from heaven. 1/3 of heaven's population was kicked out for following those losers. These narcissistic psychopaths, together with the heavenly population that was kicked out, they'll be deported to the lake of fire soon. And also the Nephilim, which these former heavenly princes brought forth. Those heavenly princes they had diverse appearances. Some had wings, some didn't. But they were all handsome young men, because there is no such thing as aging in the heavens. They walked on streets of gold. They drank from water fountains, which the water was of a diamond color. I mean, whoa. They forfeited absolute joy in Christ's presence. For what? To feed off of your sympathy at your expense? Cut it out, folks. Stop following those losers. I know this is just a drawing, but it reveals how those heavenly princes looked like. This is how they look like today. Not all of them. For example, Neptune looks a bit okay, but they're all debased, filled with diseases, filled with self-pity, and they want to drain you for all eternity. Don't follow them. Agree with Christ and be at peace.